What is going on, everybody? This is Mike from the last Corvette. So, getting back to my car seats, replacing the skins on both the driver's side and the passenger side of my C6 Corvette. I thought I was pretty far in as far as finishing up my driver's seat, and then I was going to do another video to show you guys the guts of the passenger seat. But I'm going to have an option to do it earlier because I had a little screw up, and that's what it's all about. This is why I make these videos. This is why everybody else does do-it-yourself, and we share it with the world via YouTube or other platforms. So I had to take my skin back to to a very, very good upholstery shop here in Pontiac, Michigan. They do some amazing work. So this is the back piece in my truck right now, driver's side back piece, that I had to replace the zippers on. Now, I'm not knocking the company for using cheap zippers. Obviously, these zippers are much stronger and just better overall. But it was my screw up that caused for me to, well, pay this upholstery shop to put both new zippers in. And I only had to replace one technically, but I said, hey, if they match, they match, so we replace both of them. Now, I'm still way ahead of the game because, yes, I'm doing this myself, but, you know, to do it at a shop, you're probably going to be looking at a cool $1,000 or more, especially if you're going to add on some extra foam or redo the cushions and do a custom seat, or custom leathers, I should say, altogether. But my screw up was self-inflicted. I was trying to be slick, and I wanted to reuse the OEM mounting rods that live inside this back piece. Okay, so this is your backrest on your C6, your one-piece headrest, okay, we'll call it. And later on today, I'm gonna do part 2. We'll call this part 1.5. I'll show you guys, since I have this skin off, I'll show you guys exactly what I mean by these rods and push clips that OEM uses. And I was so slick that I was like, you know what? These skins actually have the same little stitched in channel where you can feed this bar, this long bar through, and reuse the stock anchor mounts. Even though I knew through doing some research I'm supposed to use screws, stainless steel screws or whatever screws you got, to actually mount the inner flaps around the bolsters to the seat frame itself. So what happened was this: I actually got the front side of the seat mounted first, utilizing these little rods and push pins, and then when I had everything in place, I tried to stretch the leather over the back side of the seat and zip up the back, and that's when I screwed up and broke one of the zippers. Now, my logic the next day, I was thinking, like, what did I do wrong? Well, what I did wrong was I used OEM style anchor mounts, okay, instead of using screws. And I'll explain that in part 2 and actually show you guys how everything looks, including the airbag on the side and the little flaps that come with these seats. So the way you do it is, once you get this big piece, that's the largest piece that you have on, you actually want to mount or anchor the backrest first, and I'll show you guys that in part 2. And then you want to zip up the back and then use the front overlap pieces, so they give you enough meat there where you can stretch everything out and then drive in the screws. So your zippers are going to be nice and tight, and you're not doing everything in reverse. I didn't know this, but like I said, you live and you learn. So you stretch everything out first, you zip up the back, and then you stretch out the bolster sides and actually screw them into the frame of the seat. Well, you live and you learn. The passenger seat is going to be much easier, I hope. But yes, this is why we make these videos, and this is why when I get home tonight, if I have time, because I'll be gone this entire weekend, so we might have to wait, but if I get a little bit of time, I'll show you guys exactly how this piece, this middle cushion, and the actual bottom cushion mounts to the seat frame itself. It's actually very, very easy. This is the most complicated part, believe it or not, and it should have been very straightforward, but of course, you know, I try to be slicky slick as usual and do things OEM custom, but sometimes OEM custom just doesn't work. So anyway, one other thing that I screwed up, but this seller, man, is top notch. So if you guys remember or not, I made a short little video showing you guys the bezels, okay, that live on the back side of the headrest for the back seat release. Well, I screwed that up too. I was trying to hurry up and cut out the little square, it's more of a rectangle actually, to fit the bezel over, and I overcut slightly. So this gentleman is making me custom bezels now, so the anchor, the mount points are the same. What's different is the overall bezel dimensions, and not by much. We're only doing like 1/4 inch on all sides, basically spread equal, basically a 1/2 inch in total, and then it will cover up my screw up, and I'm getting 2 of them to match the passenger seat, even though I know for a fact the passenger seat I'll cut perfect this time. But that's something I will show you guys as well. There are cuts you have to make. There's a cut you have to make for your lever. So you have one release in the back. You also have your adjustment lever on the side, regardless if you have power seats or not. You also need to make a cut which is covered up by a bracket and a outer side bezel for your control. So those are pretty easy to do, and even if you screw up, it's still going to be covered because that whole fascia, that bezel piece, covers all your screw ups. But you have to make cuts even if you buy the most expensive leather skin sets. You still have to make those incisions, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did, how I did, and how I screwed up at the same time. So that's really it. I'm going to do this as a, like I said, a part 1.5. We'll do part 2 either later on today or for sure Monday next week. Hopefully I'll get this seat back in, flip the car around, and start on the passenger side seat, and then we'll show you guys the finished project. When I had everything put together for say, it actually looked really, really good. It looked much better than the OEM skins. These are all perforated besides the back, so the middle cushion on stock C6 is perforated, but the main cushion, when I say cushion, the centerpiece, okay, on the backrest is perforated. The cushion itself is not. On these OEM kits, you can actually go both ways. You can either, you know, have different skin colors, you can have different stitching colors, and you can also do perforated or not perforated. Now, of course, I didn't order this kit custom. I bought it for 150 bucks off eBay. This is a very good quality kit. It runs for right around $500 some, as I said before, and then you can get OEM ones for around $800, $900 to $1,000. Then you get some custom ones for over $1,000. But regardless, if you don't have I guess the patience and the time, do yourself a favor, take it to a upholstery shop and have them install. But you know, if you want to do it yourself, you are going to have to go under the knife and get these skins cut and also fit it properly. But anyway, it is what it is, guys. You know, you live and you learn. I guarantee you that this kit is going to come out looking swell. And I actually, just as a insurance, I did find a company that makes these, Leather LLC out of Houston. So if I have to, I will get a replacement driver's side skin, just the back portion, if something goes very, very sour with this install. The passenger side, I got my fingers crossed. Everything is going to go according to plan. Talk to you guys later.